Okay, Robin, it's your turn. And I understand Bob's going to adjust the microphone for you.
Hello, my name is Robin Howell, and I'm here because I've been through the system also. I've been going through it for about 6 years. I retained custody of my children in 2005 after a lengthy CPS battle. That started to go in my favor after I CCP'd the judge off the bench. I still was not allowed to fire my attorney, who happened to be a buddy of the judge, and was given to me as a favor to the judge, apparently to keep me quiet. But needless to say, my children were returned. In the meantime, a lot of other things have transpired. But one of my issues at this point, and this is one of the things I need to make clear, is, well, there's a lot of issues with the state of California. First of all, we're one of the only states that are a two-party consent law for taping conversations. There's a lot of states out there that where you can, as long as you're just a party to the action, you can tape a conversation. And a lot of times you'll get, I have been shut down, my visits with my children were denied when I wanted to tape these actions of these people that were state employees. Public hearings, you're supposed to have public hearings, not allowed to bring tapes in, not allowed, they don't want anyone to know, because under the cover of darkness is how they can get away with this stuff. But at the point that I'm at right now, I'm dealing with the Child Support Office, which is, of course, another state-run agency. And I really started researching after I realized my ex-husband had called me and was really asking some strange questions. And I couldn't figure it out. And then when he called me up one day and said, you know, I'm not paying my child support to you anymore, and we had agreed, we had an agreement where he was paying me directly, and the alimony was being taken out of the child support. The child support was taking the alimony out of his check, and then he was paying me child support directly. And I had informed the child support office of this in writing, dated, and so for 7 months, everything was fine, but apparently the child support office didn't like this arrangement. So without my knowledge and without his knowledge, they started to extract large sums of money out of his account. And of course, he blamed me, thinking that I had gone to them and said whatever he thought. So at this point, I almost got evicted because we need that child support. We are in a situation where we need that child support. And I was really upset. I said, what is going on here? So I started to research. I found that the order after hearing that is supplied to his work, I got a copy of it. See, they don't like the idea that we started actually getting along enough to talk. And we were actually exchanging paperwork. He was actually going to allow me to get my hands on some of this paperwork, because it's not about him and it's not about me. It's about the kids. And when I was looking at this paperwork, I was noticing there's something called a FIPS code. A FIPS code is what they use when they tell the federal government, oh, we're getting child support. We have to put an order in this county for child support from this father. They can do it if the father's working in that county. But what I'm finding is just ghost counties, ghost numbers. I'm finding counties he never worked in. I have 6 child support accounts they will not address. They tell the courts, well, Your Honor, there's only 2. She's mistaken. But they will not address it any further. There is not just 2 accounts. There are 6, and I have proof. Where is this money coming from, and where is this money going? And so I tried to address it. The courts completely remained silent on it. Not only that, his hours dropped from about 60 hours a week down to 10 because of the economy. I had put an order in for modification. The modification had gone through, and I realized, you know what? I'm not doing this. I would rather take less money and not fight than take more money and have a hell of a battle for the next, 10 years? So I didn't file it. They, breaking the family code, filed it, past the 90 days jurisdiction the courts had given it. It was filed in May of this year. Not only was it filed in May of this year, but then they turned around 2 weeks later and filed a modification because his job his company just closed down. So it didn't make any sense. And of course, I'm trying to explain to him, I never filed the paperwork. But it's just a mess. And this is the problem. The problem is the state has no oversight. They are their own oversight. The fox guards the hen house. You know, if you have a problem with CPS, you're told to go to a CPS ombudsman. If you have a problem with any kind of state agency, they say you can have a state hearing. And you're basically, it's just basically a whitewash. You don't get heard, and nothing's being done.
No accountability.
No accountability whatsoever.
How about the reps? They're right here.
I'm sorry?
How about the reps? They're right here.
I don't know about that. I think that, you know, there just needs to be more people to realize that, you know, we need to go through the period of grieving when we go through this, because I was one of those parents that believed in the system. I really was. I was in denial for at least 2 years. Once it hit me that it wasn't going to work the way I thought it was going to work, that's when I was able to say and get really ticked off to the point of wanting to do something about it. Because sometimes we can get stuck in the grief. So as long as we can get through that. But that's what I wanted to bring up to you today. Thanks.